Hi guys, and welcome back to Guitar Shed Videos. Duncan Ryan coming to you once again. How's it going? Hope everyone's enjoying playing your guitar, enjoying your practices. Hope everything's going well. So, what I actually want to talk about today is kind of on that basis, practicing the guitar, because I find that a lot of people play the guitar. Not a lot of people actually practice the guitar. And what I mean by that is that there is a difference between sitting down and playing and, not really playing anything specific and actually having a practice session. And, no matter how good you are at the guitar, no matter how, how finely developed the motor skills in your fingers may be, no matter, how much music theory knowledge you may have, I think this applies to a lot of people of all different levels of players, because quite frankly, what you end up with is some people will sometimes, they'll progress very far along, learning to play, becoming very good at the guitar, and yet never really develop the proper practicing regimen to to continue to advance even further than they have on their own. So today what I want to talk about is just a few little practice tips to kind of help you get further along and progress farther down the path of learning to play. Number one is just making sure to practice daily. That's a huge thing. Is set aside a period of time in your day during which that's your practice time. That is, that's when you're practicing. That's when you've set that time aside for yourself to play your guitar. And I realize this is a tough one. This is really tough to do, especially if if you're like me. You may work a job that has changing schedules. I may work until midnight one night, and then another day I have to be in at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And it can get really hard to set aside that period of time in your day for yourself to play the guitar. But if you really want to get better, if you really want to continue improving, it's something you really do have to do. A lot of days you're not going to feel into it. A lot of days you're going to kind of think it's more of a chore than I'm getting enjoyment out of it. But at the same time, if you really want to get better and continue to progressively get better, then it's just something you're going to have to discipline yourself into doing, because quite frankly, that's the best way to go. Next thing is to actually set up what you're going to do as a practice. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying a couple minutes ago, where I said that a lot of people play the guitar, not a lot of people practice it. And sitting down and just playing things at random, that's playing. Figuring out a specific exercise or a specific scale or a specific technique that you are going to sit down for that practice period and work on is practicing. In other words, if you're practicing with a purpose. You're actually setting yourself up a specific technique or a scale or what have you that you have intended to practice, and that you are sitting down during that period of time with your guitar in order to get better at playing. So if you sit down and you just sort of play things at random across the board, you're still helping yourself. That's still a very important part of playing the guitar, because that's what you want to do in order to sort of apply what you've practiced. That's your time to apply the things that you've learned in your practices. But in terms of practicing itself, it's really, real practice is actually kind of dull, because you're spending a lot of time going over the same exercise or the same scale or the same technique and improving upon it. And then after that, after you've done your practice time, then you can go through and just have some kind of random playing, and that's when you'll actually apply what you've been learning that whole time. So that's definitely something you have to keep in mind, is that just sitting down and playing a series of things at random, while it may help you still develop the motor skills you're going to need, playing technique, all of that stuff, it's not as focused as an intended practice session is going to be. You're not sitting down and thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to play this exact thing or this exact series of exercises until I have it down as good as it can be. So, you really have to kind of keep that in mind, that sometimes the practicing isn't going to be the fun part of guitar. The fun part of guitar is sitting down and, just playing whatever the hell you feel like playing, and continuously playing new things and all that stuff. But you don't really get there, and you don't get better at it until you sort of do the homework of doing the real practice sessions. And kind of my last tip for practicing the guitar is, when you're practicing, try not to have a lot of distractions going on. And this relates, you know, sort of to really everything, because I think a lot of times in daily life these days we just have so many distractions. You know, you've got your cell phone in your pocket, you know, maybe a friend's going to text or call or something like that. You may have the television on, you know, you're watching your favorite show, or, you know, you may have your computer on nearby that you're doing a Facebook IM session or whatever with somebody. All of that stuff is distracting you from your guitar playing if you're doing it while you're playing. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with, you know, let's say you're going to be watching TV. There's nothing wrong with sitting down while you're watching the TV and having your guitar and, you know, just kind of playing around during the commercial breaks or whatever. But again, that's not really related so much to a set regimen of practice. If you're going to have that set-aside period of practice time every day, try to eliminate as many distractions as you can. And I realize this isn't always entirely possible because, you know, you may be waiting on an important phone call, or, you know, there may be something else you need to do that's kind of got your mind distracted. But the more distractions that you can cut out from your playing, the more you're going to be able to really focus on your playing, and the better you're going to be progressing along, you know, along playing what you're trying to learn. So, even though, again, it's daily life in the modern era, we have 50,000 electronic devices beeping at us constantly, telling us information that a lot of times we don't really need to know. But, you know, I think that really if you can cut out some of those distractions during your practice periods, you're really going to be impressed with how fast you can progress with your playing. Okay, so that's kind of it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this kind of helps you get your minds, you know, into the idea of setting aside a very specific practice time and, you know, doing very specific exercises of practice, because I think once you start doing that, you're really going to be impressed with how fast you guys start learning new things and how quickly you're progressing. As usual, check out the Guitar Shed website. I'll leave a link to it below in the description. And this is kind of new. Guitar Shed Videos is also now on Facebook. I went ahead and set up a little Facebook page. You'll find links to videos, links to blog articles as I put them up. You know, occasionally a little guitar tip of the day I'll just put up, or something like that you guys can get. I'll put a link to the Facebook page in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching as always. Enjoy, and enjoy your playing. Have a great day. Bye.